Do you ever feel like you're stuck no matter how hard you try? You just can't seem to get anywhere? Well, the key might be in how you're asking for help, how you take feedback, and how you apply advice. I will tell you that Sourena and I have worked with countless people, and one of the things is they hire us to give advice, to coach, to help. But they don't always take it the way it needs to be taken, and sometimes they don't even apply it, which is really frustrating for us when we try to help people. So that's something you really want to think about. If you're stuck, you've got to really pay attention to how you're asking for advice, how you're taking that advice and taking that feedback, and then how you're applying that feedback.
Welcome to another video. Today, automotive is important. In my life, we are the economy and agreement. Find people who develop crucial they have. Take it away.
Give and take. It's the natural rhythm of life. Life isn't always balanced, right? We always search for balance. We hear about work-life balance, but it's never actually balanced. There are times when you'll give more, and there are times when you take more. But mastering when and how to do each of those things will transform your path. That's just how life works. Even though we'd love it to be balanced, it just isn't, so you have to really understand that. And it's okay to lean on others. Sometimes we wear it as a badge of honor to try to do things ourselves, but if you want to go fast, do it yourself. If you want to go far, which is where we all want to go, you got to do it with others. So it's okay to lean on other people, and strong people know exactly when to do that. The power of advice, learning from other people's journeys. Advice is more than problem solving, it's wisdom transfer. And that's something that needs to happen in order for us to be successful. And remember, you don't have to figure it all out alone. Anybody you've seen that's achieved tremendous success has had other people supporting them. They never just figure it out on their own, because there's always somebody out there who's faced the challenges that you're about to face or you're currently facing. So why not lean into them? That'll help speed up your progress. You're going to learn faster by standing on other people's shoulders. The gift of feedback. Reflect, adjust, and grow. Feedback is not criticism. People out there, sometimes some of us, have a fixed mindset, and we see feedback as just criticism. It's an assault on our abilities and who we are as people. But we need to have a growth mindset to succeed. And with a growth mindset, we realize that feedback isn't criticism at all. Feedback, it gives us direction. Now think about this. If you're an athlete, if you're a basketball player, and you want to improve your shot, sometimes we think, it takes all these massive changes and you got to redo everything. And often that's not the case. It's simply a different bend in your knees or a different position of your wrist. And that makes all the difference in the world with a shot. The bottom line is tiny changes can often lead to massive breakthroughs. And we often learn those through feedback. Advice and feedback are two sides of a coin. Advice is getting opinions and thoughts about what you should be doing, right? But feedback is getting feedback on what you're actually doing and figuring out whether or not it's working and finding areas that you can improve, right? Because ultimately, feedback is advice. It's just how you can do things better. The art of asking for help. Yes, there is an art to it. It's not just what you ask, it's how you ask it. And how do we figure out how to ask, right? Because asking is so crucial to our success. Well, you've got to know yourself. You've got to understand your goals. You've got to really understand the challenges that you're facing, right? Because you got to know what you're looking for. And then step two, you want to be intentional with your energy, right? People want to help those who actually use their advice. How many times has somebody come to you and ask for advice and you give them all your wisdom and you share your personal experiences and you're so excited to help, and then they just don't do it and they get nowhere and they remain stuck? Well, the bottom line is think about those people and never be one. Be the type of person who seeks advice, seeks feedback, and takes that information and applies it and uses it to grow. That's only going to want to make people help you more when you need it. But the bottom line is you got to show that you're serious. Communicate clearly. Find the right people and listen deeply. Right? Half of communication is listening. And that's something as human beings we sometimes fall short on. We've got to be very conscious about being great active listeners. But once you know what you need, again, you seek out the right people, be clear and open and respectful when you ask them, and most importantly, listen. But ultimately, the golden rule is once you ask for advice or feedback, take action. In life, there's all sorts of information everywhere, and while information is fine, the magic happens when we take action with that information. So you want to show people that you value their time, and the way you do that is by putting their wisdom into action. The dance of relationships, mutual effort and respect. When you're working with other people, even when they're helping you, it's a two-way street. I mean, it's like that relationship is like a dance, right? It requires rhythm and respect and awareness. You can't lead the whole time, right? You can't ignore your partner the whole time. You've got to be engaged. You've got to let them lead. You've got to stay present, right? You don't want to just use people as advice givers, right? You want to partner with people. That is one thing Sourena talks about all the time is every single relationship should be a win-win. You give and you take. And when you do that, both people benefit, both people rise. It builds a healthy relationship that lasts and is something that becomes just immensely valuable in your quest to be successful. So always in these situations, ego can get in the way. You want to make sure you keep your ego in check and your gratitude on display. The bottom line is this: growth is a shared journey. Make sure you always appreciate the people that show up for you and be the kind of person that other people want to help. Because trust me, there are a lot of great people out there who want to share advice and feedback and help others. Be one of those people that they want to help. You know, you're never going to know when you'll need them to take the next step in your dance, right? So be there, be present. So who do you need to thank? What advice are you finally going to take action on today?